across the country from California.
I mean, globally though, globally speaking and broadly in the United States of America, there are certainly any number of factors that have to do with the way that New York City is operated, and the fact that I can kind of only buy food at a bodega or a Whole Foods. That's, I think, is separate and apart from whether or not people on average have a higher standard of living than they did, say, 40 or 50 years ago. The Green Revolution is something that happened, that improved the quality of people's lives. I'm willing to accept that there are any number of shortcomings in the world that we live in, but it seems like we have to acknowledge the fact that free markets have been pivotal in lifting people out of poverty, in providing innovations, and creating a better and more prosperous world. And we can even afford to live in a cleaner world. Is that, I mean, that seems like a fair statement.
You think America's a more prosperous country than we were a few decades ago?
Absolutely.
Well, I don't know. I think you come from another planet then.
Really?
Half of this country.
I see a democratized media that's incredibly affordable.
I said half of this country now lives in either poverty or near poverty. The working class has been decimated in this country. You go into urban centers like Camden, New Jersey, and people are living where I suggest you go visit. You know, the idea that you're talking about free markets, when up the street we have Goldman Sachs, commodity traders that buy up world futures of rice, wheat, corn, livestock, so that they jack up commodity prices by 200%. So people, and I've worked in Africa and I covered the famine in the Sudan. People literally starve. I mean, this vision that you have, this economic vision, is not connected to reality. And I'll be finished. It's a non-reality based belief system that is peddled by an oligarchic elite.
Well, there you have it. Reason Magazine actually had the guts to go out and interview a reasonable, well thought out, experienced individual like Chris Hedges, and actually give him a forum on their site. And the young man that was interviewing, he tried to be aggressive with him, and he tried to convince him of his thought process. And I left a comment. I said that the young man lives in libertarian fantasy land. And that's exactly what Mr. Hedges said. It was a non-reality based system. And the thing that I want to impress on you guys is I'm not against libertarians. I don't dislike y'all. I'd like to have you on board of the people who want to change the world and make it a better world. I'd like to have you on board. You're not my enemy. I am not into that. I'm not into making enemies. I just want you to understand that this man that you interviewed knows what he's talking about. He's very sharp. He has something to offer. Critics of capitalism, like Mr. Hedges, Michael Hudson, Michael Parente, and others, even Max Kaiser, they make very salient points and they very well argue on their positions. So I congratulate you guys on actually going out and speaking to one of your enemies and actually think about what they're saying, because this concerns your future. You know, I'm 54 years old in a couple of weeks. In 3 weeks, I'll be 54. I don't have the future that you do. You have a future. I don't have a future. Maybe my next permutation, or maybe when I come back, or maybe in the next world, or whatever happens. Maybe. Who knows? But you have a future. You need to think about what he said and study this man, because he knows what he's talking about. Bye-bye.